Philadelphia is equal parts its past and its present. It's Ben Franklin and it's gritty. However, its historical significance frequently overshadows the fact that it's a city that is very much alive. Nowhere is that more evident than at Mount Moriah Cemetery, a sprawling rural cemetery surrounded by densely packed row houses, businesses, trolley lines, and most importantly, people. Mount Moriah opened in 1855 and operated until 2011 when it closed after the last interment was made. The past and the present intersect here in rather unique ways. The last living member of the board of directors of Mount Moriah died in 2004, 7 years prior to the closure of the cemetery. When you hear that the cemetery is abandoned and you see photographs of the gatehouse ruins, you might be inclined to think that this place is ancient, forgotten, and beyond hope. But that's not it. There are approximately 150,000 people buried at Mount Moriah. Some of them were buried less than 10 years ago. Some of them are still being mourned, still being missed. Mount Moriah is the past and present of Philadelphia, all in one place, simultaneously forgotten and remembered. Decades of neglect prior to its closure mean that the overgrowth and disrepair currently plaguing the grounds didn't magically start the day after the last person was laid to rest here. When the last member of the Mount Moriah Cemetery Association died, the cemetery was left with no owner. It continued operations for years without an owner and closed suddenly in the spring of 2011, giving notice to neither the state nor funeral homes. The massive, nearly 200-acre cemetery is surrounded by a world that goes on whether the grass in there is cut or not. And this was clear as of the last decades of its operation. Reports of crime, vandalism, illegal dumping, and dangerous animals roaming the grounds go back well before its closure. If not for the Friends of Mount Moriah, who began working to restore the cemetery in 2011, it's unsure what this place would look like today. Through their tremendous effort, as of this year, approximately 50% of the cemetery is navigable again. Monuments are being restored, and graves are being uncovered for the first time in many years. There is still an uphill battle to bring this cemetery back to its former glory, but it's a battle worth fighting. The legal situation at Mount Moriah is complicated and not something that really happens very frequently. Businesses close and dissolve all the time, but due to the permanent nature of death, a cemetery can't just cease being a cemetery the way a Kmart can just stop being a Kmart. The business that was the cemetery, now having no living members, had to be legally dissolved by the courts. Someone had to be appointed the custodian of the land and of the assets of the former business. Much like the way a person becomes an estate when they die, Mount Moriah needed someone to carry on for them. The Mount Moriah Cemetery Preservation Corporation was formed to handle the legal needs of the cemetery. They were granted receivership in 2014. The cemetery still has no owner, but with work from both the Mount Moriah Cemetery Preservation Corporation and the Friends of Mount Moriah Cemetery, the cemetery is being taken care of both internally and externally. There's a long, long way to go, and this may be strange to say, but there's life in this place again. The cemetery is beautiful, welcoming, and peaceful. When you walk around, you can see how beautiful it must have been, and appreciate how beautiful it currently is. You can see the beauty in its current state, imagine its former glory, and look forward to the continued improvements made by the volunteers working to restore it. It is its past and present all at once, and now it has a future.